This is a disclaimer. You're welcome.
Eat some delicious nuggies.
What is up, guys? Everyone. Fuck! What is up, guys? Make the Saddle Tank Engine 2009 back, and I'm back with the video I've been working on for over 2 weeks now. Now, I'm sure you have seen the video where I said shipping Thomas and MLP is never a good idea, and a lot of you seem to agree with me on this opinion. Well, you've now waited to click on this video, and now, time to share with you my thoughts on crossing over Thomas the Tank Engine with anthropomorphic animals. Now, before I get to my thoughts on these crossovers, I want to info that I've always had a passion for vehicles and animals, hence why I'm now starting to upload random animal videos, but I'm more likely passionate about vehicles, and I've been flocking to several vehicle-centric animation, particularly the ones with anthropomorphic vehicles, including Cars, Roary the Racing Car, Bob the Builder, and yes, Thomas the Tank Engine. But I've also been flocking to talking animal-centric animation projects too, Finding Nemo, The Lion King, Bambi, Littlest Pet Shop, Chikn Nuggit, etc. I've always had a fascination with talking vehicle and animal media, and most of the time when I was little, I've been playing crossovers of the two, and imagining them as well. And I kinda still imagine to this day. Unfortunately though, I've came across a lot of people on YouTube with negative comments about certain crossovers of random talking animals with the one talking vehicle show, that being, well, Thomas and Friends. I didn't mind everything when I was younger, even when I started my YouTube channel. I even made my crossover series based off of the Team Awesomeness crossovers. But now that I've retired from that series, and moving on from Team Awesomeness in general, I've been understanding most of the criticisms people bring up with the crossovers of Thomas and Talking Animals, and now I'm here to share you my thoughts. But the most notable of these Thomas x Random Animals crossovers is none other than Thomas x My Little Pony. Now, I've seen some videos of that crossover that are actually very good and feel like proper Thomas and MLP crossovers. Examples include George Garza Productions videos, and a friend of mine, Defender Johan stories. Kudos to you both. But aside from that, I've been growing to understand the problems of this crossover, especially with the engines and ponies kissing. Oh my god, what the f are these kinds of pictures? They're unbearable!
Unbearable!
Though, the one good thing about these crossovers is that there are people, like myself, who just keep the characters as plain friends. And if you do too, that's absolutely fine. But what I'm trying to say, like I said on the video I mentioned at the start, if you ship Thomas and MLP, go to therapy and get help. It's better to just keep the engines and ponies as friends. As for the rest of the animal crossovers with Thomas, well, my main problem with them nowadays is that they don't live in the same world. That includes MLP. The same problem I have with Thomas x Human shippings, and possibly even with Thomas x other talking vehicles. But I'll discuss that on a later occasion. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking. Isn't making crossovers including Thomas and talking animals fun to you? You've seen crossovers like this, and you tried doing so for yourself, regardless of each show or movie's canon. We like talking animal cartoons as well, and some of us don't mind crossing them over with Thomas, so why are you talking about your problems about crossovers such as yours with the shows and movies you enjoy? Look, I get that you guys like talking animal cartoons as much as I do. I get that. But in the canon of Thomas, the animals clearly do not talk in a series that is supposed to be taken as realistically as possible. only the engines, road characters, and rolling stock are the only non-alive objects who are alive and able to talk. So what I'm saying is, if Thomas ever met Twilight Sparkle, or Bambi, or Unikitty, Chicken Nugget, or some other fifth talking creature, he might freak out any second. Hell, I'm setting a build-up throughout my video history with Thomas being bewildered that he's seen talking animals somewhere on Sodor. And can you even imagine what his reaction would be if he ever bumped into the characters from Jungle Junction? Remember, Jungle Junction's characters are combinations of talking animals and vehicles. This is why I more likely prefer crossing over Thomas with other talking vehicle media. Cars, Bob the Builder, Roary the Racing Car, Tyler the Little Bus, and most especially, Chuggington. Chuggington. And another thing, when I was little, whenever I crossed over Thomas and a random talking animal show in my mind, I just go crazy with my ideas and they kind of inspire me for some of my Thomas stories. Same with crossing over SpongeBob SquarePants with the same theme. But even if that still happens to me, I'm trying hard to narrow it all down and go easy with my stories. Plus, I mainly want original stories or stories from books or magazines for my projects. This includes an example where I thought of a story called Chicken Nugget Goes Loco, which, you guessed it, it's a Thomas x Chicken Nugget crossover, which just takes place during the first ever 7 Thomas stories. But I'd rather not share it and just cancel it, because it's just not original. I'd rather draw or think of something that makes sense. If there could be a good chance of making actual good crossovers of Thomas and whatever anthropomorphic animal show or movie for me to get inspiration, please let me know if you ever have an idea. Anyway guys, those were my honest thoughts on Thomas x Talking Animals. Sorry if it wasn't big or in full detail, but this is the best I can explain. So with that said, that's gonna wrap up today's video, so remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. This is Nick the Saddle Tank Engine 2009 saying, don't get any kissing nightmares tonight, kids.